welcome to week 4 of the posture class. I'm excited that you've made it this far. So in the week prior, we talked about how our skeletal structure had alignment and everything kind of falls into place. Well, what holds that into place? As we talked about this week for week 4, we talked about how we have to understand our muscles and the forces that our muscles create through either concentric action or eccentric action. So for my bicep, a concentric would be a contraction and eccentric is elongation. And so what we're going to do this week for your exercises, we're really going to focus on how we can strengthen and stretch our muscles through a series of movements. So we're going to start nice and easy. We're just going to start with some shrugs. What I want you to do is find that neutral position, and then I just want you to come up and down, pulling your shoulder blades together, so concentric action with your shoulder blades, and then raise and lower your shoulders. Nice and easy. All right, now we're going to go into some shoulder rolls, and we're just going to do a really quick warm-up before we get started with the movement series. So focus on squeezing those shoulder blades together, coming back and around and forward. I won't spend too much time now articulating some of the movements that we've already done in terms of the actions. You should know how to do them, and if not, I highly recommend going back to the other videos and really watching and listening to the instruction at hand. Because as we move forward, we want to pick up the pace, but we also want to start focusing on some of the other more complex things. So now we're going to do shoulder rolls back. And keep on going. And now what I want you to do is I want you to lift your hands. So kind of bring them up and around. And then we're going to focus on now, we're going to reach out and pull in. Squeeze your shoulder blades back together. Nice and tight, drive those elbows back. Reach and pull. This is such a good movement because it's important for our shoulder carriage and our shoulder blades to move autonomously from our body in terms of having that range of motion. So we were talking about the axes of movement, and our shoulder blades are part of the mover series for our shoulder carriage. So keep on reaching and pulling, and then now we're going to reach and swing out. Reach, come out, back in, reach, come out, back in, reach, come out, and then I'm pulling my elbows back and in. Make sure to really make that fist as you come out and then pull back in. Focus on good posture. Reaching. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to take our shoulders and we're going to drive them up. If you have any shoulder impingements or if you have any issues with your rotator cuffs, just try to go as high as possible. And now we're going to rotate up. So we're going to start with our hands facing and reach up, hands faced away and down. Take the deep breath as you come up, exhale as you go down. Breath in, exhale. In, exhale. Belly button is into my spine as I'm reaching and pulling. We're going to do 5 more. Reach and 4 more and 3 more and 2 more. Last one. And now we're going to rotate out one at a time. Same as the row, but this time what we're doing is we're adding a little bit of a twist to the spine. We're rotating around our body. We have our stomach in, our chest is up, and it's almost as if you're reaching and grabbing and pulling something towards your chest. Really what we're doing is we're focusing on the ranges of motion within our arms. So critical on a day-to-day basis. All right, now we're going to come up and we're going to go arms overhead. 3 and 2 and 1 and arms overhead. Reach up and tap and down. Up, tap, down. Up, tap, down. I'm rotating my palm away from me as I go down and rotating my hand in towards my ear and towards my body as I come in. I'm going to do 2 more. Tap, and then last one. And switch. Keep on reaching. Focus on those movements. If you feel someplace you get stuck, maybe you feel like your elbow is forward, just really try to focus on nice fluid movements and then lifting that elbow as you touch your ear. So we're lifting. So this is really a stretch for our shoulders, and it's an eccentric action for our shoulder blades because we're coming up. So our serratus is pulling our shoulder blade out and across. We have 3 more touches on this side, and we're going to go into our ankle rolls. And drop your hand. You can shake out your shoulders if you feel like. We're going to put our foot forward, and we're going to just start rotating. Now I'm rotating clockwise to start. Nice and easy, small circles. And I'm just pulling my foot around, guiding it and reaching with my pinky toe as I go clockwise on my right side. And now I'm going to come around the other way. And ankle rolls are so critical for mobility, but more importantly, when it comes to postural alignment, having really solid ankles is so important. It really helps us walk better, it helps us stand better, and having really good flexibility within our ankles is going to help with our overall mobility and having a strong posture as we move. And we're going to switch sides, going around clockwise. Start out small and then really get into that reach and try to make it as fluid as possible as we're coming around. That's great. And now we're going to switch sides, and then we're going to go counterclockwise with that right foot. Now you're really reaching and scooping. Think about bending those toes up and down and getting a good range of motion there. You may feel some crinkles, some pops. That's okay as long as there's no pain involved. And we're going to switch to the other side, rotating around counterclockwise with our left side. Now I'm really reaching as I'm going counterclockwise with those toes, reaching out, trying to spread them. It's a great way to think about it. And going into a nice march. So when we do the march, we want to make sure we have those neutral hips. We can put our hands on our hips right here. Stomach is into the spine. I can hold myself up, lift my chest, stick out my elbows, or relax my back, but make sure that I'm sitting up straight as I'm marching, and I'm driving my knees up. Keep on working on it, and keep on driving. This is really a good time to talk about the chair. You want to make sure you have a nice, stable chair that you're sitting on. Metal fold-out chairs are great. Any type of dining room chair is probably good. If you need a cushion, that's a smart little add to your exercise routine. All right, we're going to do 10 more, and 9, and 8, and 7, and 6. Keep up the pace. 5, 4, 3, and 2, and now we're going to stand up. So we're going to do a stand up and go straight away into a light march. You want to make sure that we're moving our feet and we're keeping going. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put our feet out wide, and we're just going to shift from one side to the next. All we want to do with this is feel out the muscles, and we want to feel out if there's any tightness involved in our hips. And we were talking about hip mobility and really putting consciousness back into our body. That's exactly what we want to do here. You want to think about the movement, feel it out, feel how your hips feel, and now we're going to come around to a rotation for a little bit of a warm-up, rotating around clockwise, pushing those hips. If you need the chair for support, it's completely fine, but If not, I highly recommend just keeping your hands right here on your hips and feeling that movement as you come around. And we're gonna move clockwise. We're moving clockwise and we're gonna move counterclockwise now. So come out, we're gonna move counterclockwise. Feel the movement as we go around. Don't worry about trying to be stable up top. All we're doing is just trying to feel it out and get that movement going to help ease the pressure in our hips. If there's any tightness, this is gonna help. And we're gonna go straight away into marching. So hands down, stomach in, chest up, and just, you're gonna pick up your foot just high enough. So you don't need to pike up. All we wanna do is make sure that we're just lifting our foot, the ball of our foot off the ground, and we're catching down. Stay in that march. And what we're gonna do with our hands now is we're gonna put our hands like this, as if we're holding a tray. Think about holding a tray, continue the march, and we're gonna open up and close. Open, close. Tight core, so we want a tight core. Keep our belly button into the spine that's holding us up. Take some deep breaths. So breathe in and exhale. Breathe in and exhale. Breathe in and exhale. Breathe in and exhale. Good. Drop your arms. Now what we're going to do is we're going to reach up one arm at a time. You're going to rotate and reach. Keep that march going. Try to keep it a nice, easy step, good pace. And you can kind of use your hand as a counter. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 steps as we come up and down. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And switch sides, so drop that hand, find your pace, and lift the arm and rotate. All we're doing is focusing on that stretch and lift while we're activating our hips, so we have to support ourselves as well as support our balance. Keep on stepping and reaching. All right, from here what we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of a different, we're going to focus on a side step, so step left or right and then back. So it's left and right, feet together and back. If you need a chair for support, you can stand behind your chair when you do this, if you'd like. Once again, my hands are back to my hips. I really want to be feeling that as I'm reaching and stepping with my feet. So reach and step. Just feeling that movement right here, putting my thumbs down into my waist. Okay, so now we're going to use the chair. We're going to start on the right side, and all we're going to do is we're going to step out like this. So if you can do it with one arm, that's great. Just go as high as you feel comfortable, drive that foot down, focus on that posterior chain. Squeeze that butt and go as high as you feel comfortable. If you need to hold the chair for balance, you can, but try to keep yourself stable. Put your arms out if you feel like it. And do 2 more and then switch sides. And then go into a march. We're going to switch sides. All right. And find that balance, drive the big toe into the ground, drive the little toes in the ground, feel it out with your feet. As you can tell, I'm doing it with socks on, but I highly recommend doing this exercise barefoot, so long as it's comfortable with what you're standing on. So if you're standing on a hard surface, it might be a little uncomfortable, so I recommend carpet, but for the most part, you want to get that dynamic action in your feet. That's going to be so good for your balance and also for your posture. We're going to do 3 more, 2 more, last one, and march. Now what we're going to do is we're going to stay on this side, put our hand on a chair, and we're going to do that pike that we were talking about. So we're going to pike up, stomach in, knee up and down. Pike up, and down. My hand is on the chair for balance, but if you feel like you don't need it, that's perfectly fine. What you want to do is you want to focus on driving that knee up, and you don't want the knee to cross the center line of your body. So you don't want your knee to come like this. Try to focus on keeping your knee up, and if you have to over-exaggerate and bring your knee out, that's just completely fine. We just want to focus on getting that knee up, getting that leg up, hinging, squeezing, and so we're having multiple variables going on here. All right, one more. Go into a march, and we're going to walk to the other side of that chair. Okay. At the other side of the chair, once again, hand for stability if you need it, and coming up and holding it for just a second. As we go through this pipe, once again, try to keep that knee away from that center line. Toes are driving down on my stability leg. I'm squeezing my butt, and I'm doing my best to hold myself stable as I come in. Focus on getting that knee up, and really try to focus on that stability, and my belly button is into my spine, working on my posture. I can pull my shoulder blades back from here, and it's gonna hold me up. We'll do 5 more. 4, keep it up. 3, if you need to use a chair, feel free, but keep on moving. And 1, going straight away into that march, and we're gonna go into a seated squat. So we're gonna step in front of the chair. Once again, we're gonna put our hands out, sit down. So hands out, sit down. Make sure you're nice and comfortable in that chair. Make sure you have good balance from here. We're gonna place our feet and get up and down. So if you need to use your hands right here, you can push from here, but I want you to try to focus on sitting down, knees are away, up, driving through my heel and through my toes, down. Don't lift your toes as you come up. Try to drive your feet down and coming up and down. So up, down, up, breathe in, exhale, and then sit. Good. Come up, breathe in, exhale, and sit. Keep the pace up. Breathe in, exhale, and sit. Now we're going to come up and down. Breathe in, exhale, and sit. 2 more. Breathe in, exhale, sit. Good. Last one. Breathe in, exhale, and sit. Good. Stay seated for a minute. I'm going to focus on stepping out and then in. You want to be halfway out of your chair. Once again, stabilizing with that core, and we're going to step out and in. I can put my hands here, but I don't want to be lifting my hands. I just want to be stepping. Driving my knee up and lifting. So don't drag your foot across. You want to pick it up and down. Really focus on how you're picking up your knee and what you're focusing on. We're going to do 4 more, and 3, and 2, and 1, and rest. Also, don't be afraid to make those adjustments. Take a break, breathe, shift, but don't be afraid to make those adjustments while you're in the movement. If you notice that your posture is deviated or changed, you start to slouch. Like if I am stepping and I notice I'm falling into myself, pull your shoulder blades back, lift your body up. So we're switching to the right side, out and in, making sure I'm lifting my knee up first and then moving it, not just sliding it across the movement. Because what I really want to do is work out those hip flexors. Super important for walking and stability and balance. Also, they hold the front of our pelvis up. They connect with our abdominals, and they really are part of our anterior chain, so at the front of our body. Keep on stepping. We're going to do 5 more, 4 more, 3, correct your posture. 2, don't forget to breathe. 1, and rest. Now we're gonna pick up our dowel, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna hold it out wide, and what I want you to do is I want you to squeeze it tight, and then pull it in and squeeze. So push out, squeeze it tight, pull it in and squeeze. Feel those muscles, feel that contraction. Push out, squeeze it tight, pull it in and squeeze. Push out, squeeze it tight, pull it in and squeeze your shoulder blades. Push out, squeeze your hands, pull it in, squeeze your shoulder blades. Push out, squeeze your hands, pull it in, squeeze your shoulder blades. Push out, squeeze your hands, pull it in, squeeze your shoulder blades. 2 more, push out, squeeze your hands, pull it in, squeeze your shoulder blades. Push out, squeeze your hands, pull it in, squeeze your shoulder blades. Push out and hold. Now we're gonna do a hold and lift. So we're gonna lift, down, lift, down. Focus on the hinge. My belly button is in, my chest is up, I'm breathing, and I'm only reaching up as high as I feel comfortable. Now we're gonna reach up and we're gonna hold it there for this one. Reach up and hold it. Now I'm going to grab the bar and pull away. Relax. Wiggle your fingers, grab the bar, pull away. Good. Relax. Wiggle your fingers, grab the bar tight, pull away. Relax. Set the bar down, and now what we're gonna do is we're gonna do push. We're gonna step forward with the bar. So we're gonna hold the bar here, and we're gonna come in and out. Come in and out. When I reach out, I want my hand to be lower than my shoulder because I'm gonna be pulling it in and pushing it out. So think about as if you were tapping something. All this is we're focusing on driving our shoulder and our elbow back and focusing on that rotation. Pull back, push forward. Pull back, push forward. We have 3 more, and 2 more, and last one, and reset. Switch sides. Pull back, push forward. Pull back, push forward. Pull back, push forward. 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to lift this up. We may want to stand up for this one, but you can do this seated. But we're going to stand up. We're going to hold the bar in front of us, and all we're going to do is we're going to curl it. So keeping our elbows forward, we're going to come down, curl, push our elbows up, but not all the way. So come curl up, squeeze the biceps, push up. So we want to squeeze the front of your arm, curl up, squeeze the front of your arm, push up with your elbows. And down, squeeze, push. And down, squeeze, push. Down, squeeze, push. Down, squeeze, push. Good. Down, squeeze, push. And down, squeeze, push. Just like that. Down, squeeze, push. We have 3 more. Stomach is into our spine. We're standing tall, our feet are planted. We can squeeze our butt a little bit to pull ourselves up. And we have push. And let's do 1 more. Good. Now what we're going to do is we're going to set this down. And we're going to go back into some squats. So we're going to step, march, march. And we're going to go back into sitting in that chair. So we're going to sit down into that chair. Make sure our feet have a nice distance away from each other. Shoulders length. Line everything up. Make sure you're at halfway in your chair, but you can sit back comfortably. And we're going to stand up and down into the chair, and up, and down. Make sure though, when you're sitting down and getting up, your knees are not collapsing in on each other, so you're not doing this. You wanna make sure your knees are away, you have good stability, and you're hinging up, squeezing the butt, pushing your hips forward. Down, up, squeeze, hips forward. And butt back and down into the chair, stand up, squeeze, push your hips forward. We're gonna do 5 more, stand. We have 4 more, stand. 3 more, stand. And 2 more, stand. Last one, up. Make sure you're in a good stable position and go into a march. This time we're gonna move our arms with the march. You can keep your thumbs up if you'd like you're hitchhiking. They don't really do that anymore, do they? But keep on marching. And the last thing that we're gonna do is we're going to reach across our body with our hand out. Like, if you think about like you're a rock star, just swiping across. You're gonna pull your shoulders, pull in tight, and rotate across. You can do it low, or you can do it underhand if you have any shoulder issues. And slide across. 3 more, 2 more, last one, and switch. I'm crossing my other arm that's not active across my body because I want to try to make sure I'm not rotating with my arm. Make sure I'm swiping across. Just like that, nice and easy. Good, solid movements. 5 more, 4 more, 3 more, 2 more, last one. Take a seat. All we're gonna do now is we're gonna take a deep breath in, belly button in, chest up, put our hands here, we're gonna push forward and exhale, breathe in, lift the chest, chin up, and exhale. Crumple over, take a deep breath in, lift up, and exhale. One more, deep breath in, lift up, and exhale. And that concludes week 4. Hope you've been enjoying it so far. Look forward to many more discussions and to week 5. See you soon.